council who are maybe new to this file, and so I'd ask if there's maybe a member of staff who could just give us a bit of a highlight as to the value and benefits of this item. Director Buckingham.
To the chair and all council. So we posted an RFP. We are looking for clear direction on where and how we are going to have residential and commercial growth and how it should be encouraged over the next 25 years. We are going to do this through public consultation, have our consultant review key city documents such as our strategic plan, climate adaptation plan, our rec master plan, and a list of other key documents that we've been working through with the city. They're going to help us evaluate short, medium, and long-term plans and help us understand implications of various development scenarios based on actual growth in the short and long term. So the primary objectives of the RFP were to help us develop and implement a public participation program, work with staff and council on that as well, develop forecasts 5, 15, and 25 years out, identify and analyze growth scenarios, outline and assess area-specific growth scenarios, and provide a generalized implementation strategy that we can actually work through. I know that's quite a bit to take in, but that's basically the general idea of the RFP for the growth plan.
Yeah, thank you, Director Buckingham. Councillor Arsenault.
Thanks. So it does include like a significant amount of public consultation and discussion.
Through the chair to Councillor Arsenault. Yes, we've actually required them to do 2 public consultations. So they do an initial, we come back, do a draft report, review it, and then take that back to the public again and do another consultation. And then after that, we would do our final documents. But yeah, there's 2 identified, and they've committed to doing both. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Arsenault. Councillor Richard.
Yes, through the chair to Director Buckingham. There's a mention there about residential, I guess, and commercial components as well. In the commercial component, does that include, like, is it, I guess, part of the study, an economic development study, or maybe putting forth a strategy that would focus on developing, I guess, the economy around some of our existing structures?
Through the chair to Councillor Richard, yes, the Director of Economic Development and Tourism was part of our review committee, and he and his department will be involved in this study as well. It encompasses quite a few departments in the city, so there would definitely be some of that within this RFP, yes.
If I could just speak to further clarify on that one as well, Councillor Richard. So we have a separate plan that we funded in our budget for this year that is a renewal of the economic development and tourism strategy. So that will probably take on more of what you're talking about, like identifying industries that we can pursue for growth, for increased economic activity and jobs. This is more of like a development and planning, like a physical plan. So like where would be the best places in the community for increased industrial presence to be, because our industrial parks are both full, for example. So where would we expand those? Where would we expand commercial pockets of the city? So this is more about the physical, where do they go? The other plan will address that, what should we be focusing on attracting. Sorry, Councillor Harris.
Yeah, just to Director Gorman, just if you can remind me how much we had Director budgeted for this year.
Through the chair to Councillor Harris, we had budgeted $90,000 from city funds, and assuming that we will be applying for RDC for additional funds, that was when we have made an assumption that we would need $150,000 for this project, but it has come in at just under $100,000. So we will still be applying for RDC funding.
Okay, RDC funding will come in at,
well,
40%, I guess.
Yeah, 40,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Councillor. I'll just speak in favor of the motion. I've been championing this plan for a while, and it does build on our municipal development plan. We just redid that in 2020. We usually redo that every 10 years. But this allows us not just to sort of have development principles of what we allow, but actually to proactively plan for the future growth and development of our community. So we know that growth is anticipated, and that'll be part of the data that will feed this plan, is the anticipated growth of the community over the next 5-10 years. And this will allow us to go through a public consultation, so with the public, staff and council and experts from outside, identify where and how the best places for the community to grow will be in those periods. And there's going to be cost efficiencies too. So we know it's expensive to run the new water and sewer infrastructure and new roads to unlock new housing, but this will identify for us where we can do that in a strategic way and maybe spend $500,000 on a new pipe for 150 units of housing rather than spending $500,000 on unlocking 10 new units of housing. So it allows us also to earmark for the community, here's where those high growth areas are going to be. So it hopefully will mitigate some of the NIMBY that we get, or it's less piecemeal in terms of planning the growth of the community and much more strategic and cost efficient. It's something that cities like Moncton have already gone through. So in fact, I believe these are the same proposed consultants, and it will kind of give us the ability to make sure that we're using every dollar as effectively as possible and being more proactive instead of reactive in terms of the development of the city over the short and longer terms.